Bike touring the Katy Trail in Missouri. This is an introduction to one of America's best long-distance rail trails. The Katy Trail stretches 240 miles from Clinton to Machens, Missouri. It also holds the title of America's longest continuous rail trail. First, our strategy. 3 friends bike camping with fully loaded touring bicycles on the Katy Trail for 1 week in September. We park in St. Charles near the eastern terminus, shuttle to Clinton, and ride back to our cars in 5 to 7 days. So we had some flexibility. All without pre-booking any overnight stays or campsites. The plan was executed flawlessly. Next, let's talk the Katy Trail Route, the 72-mile section of trail from Clinton to Booneville is more remote than the remainder. It features rolling fields, forests, rock-lined trail sections, and plenty of creeks. A big draw halfway between Clinton and Booneville is Sedalia, which has an Amtrak station, lots of restaurants, and a super cool railroad depot, one of only 4 fully restored depots on the trail. From Booneville to St. Charles and Machens, the route meanders along and near the Missouri River with picturesque views of the river, its expansive floodplain, and towering limestone bluffs. It's also the official route of the Lewis and Clark expedition, so there is an abundance of Lewis and Clark information and historical markers all along the route. A highlight during the long ride for me was pulling into the 26 trailheads. They included a map of the section of trail along with some great information and history of that area. They really provided a great reference for each specific area or little town that we pulled into. One note though, not all trailheads had water and restrooms, so make sure you check the map. Now let's talk the Katy Trail surface. So it's a hard-packed crushed limestone, with the exception of a few thicker sandy spots in some heavily flood-prone areas. The terrain is mostly flat. There are a few minimal grade long hills. Also, venturing into some of the towns and attractions do require low to moderate climbing. Next, the towns along the Katy Trail. One of the advantages to the Katy Trail is its access to all of its trail towns along the way. Many were right on trail, though some required using an accessed spur or road to go across the Missouri River to get to the town. The towns ranged from tiny with a couple of buildings to the large state capital and everything in between. There were quaint villages and small towns that really catered to Katy Trail visitors. One point of note is arriving to these little towns early in the week, like on a Monday or Tuesday, can result in not finding as many things opened. All right, let's get into the camping along the Katy Trail. So camping was available in many areas. We used the trail map, guidebook, and Google to find camping. And it was pretty easy to find a campsite within the mileage that we hoped to do on a certain day. Oh, And a lot of the camping was right inside the quaint little towns, which I thought was amazing. One note though, there is no free dispersed camping along the Katy Trail. Each campground has a registration and payment process, so it is good to have cash for the ones that did not have attendance. Now, a very, very brief history of the Katy Trail. So the trail system was built on the corridor of the former Missouri, Kansas, Texas Railroad, MKT, better known as the Katy. The railroad operation closed in 1986, and the first section of the Katy Trail State Park in Rocheport opened in 1990. Okay, so enough of the overview of the Katy Trail. So for the next several videos on Denise Looking Out, I'll share each day we experienced on the Katy Trail. Join me as I highlight my bicycle touring trip on the Katy Trail, one of the best bike touring adventures in the United States. See you then.